It's Bank Holiday Friday, it's Easter Friday, and I'm still working. Got a little job to finish today, which hopefully shouldn't take me too long. And I should be putting this video out on the Friday. So what I've done is, because it's Easter, I've done a little Easter egg hunt for you. So dotted around this video somewhere, it's going to be very hard to spot. I think I'm going to put 12 eggs. I'm going to stick a dozen eggs in this video for you to watch. Now, if that don't keep you watching to the end, I don't know what will. But happy Easter, everyone. If I don't see you before, I probably won't see you again till Tuesday now, unless something pops up and I put a video out. But yeah, enjoy your Easter break, and I'll see you next week. Where's them eggs? I know there's somewhere. Now, I've had a day off today, and I'm getting to an age where sometimes just sitting on the couch and watching YouTube and having a cup of tea and then another biscuit and maybe another cup of tea is really appealing, and I'm finding it harder as I get older to get motivated to do anything else. So I've just been out in my garage, and I know winter's been here and it's very hard to go out in the garage when it's cold, although you've got a little heater and things like that. So I've just been out there, and I've got some weights out there and stuff, and I used to use them quite a bit, not that you could tell, but you know, I've always tried to do something with myself to keep myself looking as fit as I can, and needing to be fit for the work we do. You know, you need to keep up a bit of strength and resistance and stuff like that. But where I'm hitting my mid-50s now, well, I'm in my mid-50s now, part of me thinks, just sit in the couch, just chill out, don't do nothing. You haven't got to worry about keeping yourself fit anymore. You know, you're happily married, you're not going out pulling birds anymore. And it's so easy to just go completely that way. But that's when you start walking about in your slippers, putting your furry tops on, walking about with all food stains down your top. Do you know, that's the road to decline, that attitude, I think. So I feel like I'm right on a pivotal moment of my life now, where if I don't fight that, I will end up being that. And that's what I don't want to be. I want to be, obviously, as fit and healthy as I can. But I want to keep my mindset is that if we are out for the evening or we do go on holiday, I could still hopefully maintain something of a man rather than an old man, because this is what I am. I'm turning into an old man. It's just so easy to slip into that downward spiral of old age. So anyway, I just thought I'd put that out there, because I think a lot of you that watch me are similar ages to me, looking at my demographic. And I would imagine you're doing the same. You're getting in from work, if you are still working, or you're just sitting on the couch watching YouTube. You've probably got a cup of tea and a biscuit in your hand, watching me. And that's what I enjoy doing, but I cannot do that for the rest of my life, because these legs will give up on me if I don't go and do some work on them. Anyway, let's get back to work. So I've been to the dump today, got rid of a load of crap. I've got all my free space back, because I had 2 doors here. I had loads of odds and sods of plasterboard and insulation all pulled up. So you can see I've got my little bit of scaffold now, which I will be using very soon on a job. So it's only a cheap one, you'll see that in action. It's one of these, oh God, what is it like? I can't remember the company now. It's not like the proper scaffold towers. It's all right, it does the job. Very DIY, but it stores nice and easy as well. It's nice and thin, look. It is, each of them sections is only, so it's 2 foot wide. Enough of that. So I'm back in that job tomorrow, so I'm just going to cut these tiles from on the wet cutter. And to be honest, if anyone that's watched my channel from the beginning, I don't think you'd ever have seen me lay a tile, purely for the fact I can't stand tiling. I absolutely hate it. I used to do lots of it years ago on a firm I worked on. I'm all right at it. I'm not bad. I get away with it. I've done bathrooms, I've done kitchens, I've done loads and loads of tiling over the years, but I just really hate it. I get so bored very quickly. I don't like jobs which you can sort of do a bit and walk away from. I like to do a job, a bit like plastering or painting. Once you've started, you're committed to that area. I just found myself getting very lazy with tiling. You'd lay a few and then you go, and I used to smoke, so I'd just go and have a fag or a cup of tea, and then you come back, do a few more. And I never made money on it because I just couldn't get into it deep enough. So anyway, I'm going to do a little splashback around that sink that's in that house. And then I think they've actually asked me if I'd do a splashback around the kitchen worktops. So I don't mind things like that. If it's like 3 tiles high, simple little splashback, I'm happy to do that. But when it comes to bathrooms and kitchens and that, it's just, I don't know. It's not for me anymore. I shall pass them jobs on if I get offered them. Anyway, let's cut this and get this done. So this is only a cheap cutter. It's just a McAllister, which I think that's a B&Q thing, isn't it, McAllister? And what I hate about these things is that you can't help but get covered in water, can you really? Right, how's that running? So I'm going to stick a tea towel over my neck. Like I'm in a posh restaurant. Cut these towels. Just stick a bit more water in there, it's not enough. Thank you, that was absolutely delicious. Right, wipe them down. Bit of a rough edge, but that's going to be, it's going to have a bit of mastic along it, so... Oh, bollocks, I've cut the wrong tile. What a idiot. I've cut the wrong tile. I'm trying to explain it. That was a cut, that tile. And the sink basin was on the worktop, but the worktop went on, so I only wanted to cut so far along, and then that would have dropped down onto the basin. And she only had 3 tiles. Trying to think of a way out of this, hold on. Right, I think I've got a way out of it. It's such a tiny little area. I mean, it's not going to make any difference anyway. But basically, that needs to drop down onto the worktop as it overshoots the top of the sink. So I'll have to use that tile in the corner coming out. Then that one. And then that one I cut wrong. I'll have to be the bit on the end. So the next time you see these tiles, I'll be back in that job, putting them on the wall, and that should happen in a flash for you. It's tomorrow for me, so I'll see you there. And there we go, all nice and tidy. And that's that little bit I was talking about where it's got to sit down to the worktop and then come up across the top of the sink. So here I am back next day, and this render's all dry now, and that was the Weber, the one coat render from Wix or wherever else you get it. So I'm just going to give that a little bit of a PVA, or sorry, an SBR even. PVA, SBR, it's the old debate. So I'm just going to give that a quick SBR and give it a scrape back first, just get any high spots off where I floated it in. Put a bit of this on it, and they did say that they had some damp coming in here, and I couldn't see it at all. So I did have another look outside earlier, and I think I found the source of the water coming in. It wasn't attached actually to their building, it was on the building next door, but once I looked at it, it was just seemed plainly obvious that that's why they're getting water in. So that appears in a little while in this video. Right, I only need a little bit of plaster, so I'm just going to mix it up in here really. It's a smidgen if I'm honest, but I don't want to cause too much mess in the house. Use these little bags up. So I thought I'd have a little look outside again to see what was potentially causing some damp in the cellar, because there was no damp on that wall that I rendered. So I looked outside, looked up at this drain pipe, looked down again, and lo and behold, there's a shoe with another bit of pipe attached to it and a return shoe shooting right into the plinth there. And there's a gap between the plinth and the tarmac, and I think the water's probably just been shooting down there. Look at this, look. Wherever I am, this monkey is here as well. He's a good boy, aren't you? Yes, you're a good boy, really. Oh, who's that under my arms? Here he is. Right, so we'll paint this now. I've given it all a rub down. I think what had happened was the customer painted it, and I think they used one of them spongy mini rollers. And if you use them a lot, you'll know that they can sort of get an air build up in them, and sometimes it can leave some bubbles when you're laying off. And if your paint's very quick drying, then bubbles will stay. They won't flatten out, they'll dry too quick and they'll stay. So I've given it all a rub down. I've got another little mini roller, not a sponge one. I don't use the sponge ones anymore. And what I'll do is I'll put a drop of water in that paint as well, and hopefully it will just lay out a bit more level. So now, just with a little drop of water in this paint and using a little furry roller instead of a sponge one, they should give that paint a lot more sort of drying time, open time, and it should flatten out level without drying quickly with little spongy bubbles in it. Nah, that's looking better. So it's obviously wet at a minute. We'll just see how that dries off. This is how these guys on YouTube make them front doors look so shiny. What they do is they put a little bit of water in the paint or a little bit of a flow additive, and then they paint it, and then they film it while it's wet, and it makes it look like 10 Downing Street. Yeah, it's looking nice. Pleased with that. So I'm back at home now, and I completely forgot to film any more of that job. I got talking to the customers, and before I knew it, I was walking out the door, so I didn't film any more of it. But to be honest, there wasn't a lot more to film really. The whole job was just a series of little tiny bits and pieces, touching to patching, because they'd had some work done, and it was just a load of tidying up really, because I've got family coming for Easter. So the only thing I didn't show you was the finished bit down near the front door with a plastered wall. I painted all that in just to blend it in with the existing wall, but they're going to have all that boxed in anyway. They're going to have the electrical consumer unit and the cables all boxed in, so you're not going to see a lot of that. But that was it really. So next week is plastering. I've got a full week of plastering next week from Tuesday onwards, I think. Got 2 separate jobs. I think that'll equate to 4 days of plastering, which is all good. So I shall see you next week. And if you only spotted 6 eggs and you're thinking, well, you said 12, where's the other 6? Well, I got bored of putting them on, so here. Have some of that. 6 are the best. Happy Easter, everyone.